I'm Matty J, CPA, and in today's video, we're going to talk about 3 critical reasons why you might consider delaying taking your Social Security. Okay, now the first reason is to protect a surviving spouse, especially in the situation where there's one high earning spouse and a lower earning spouse. We're going to look at an example here of John and Jane, okay? And we are going to say that both John and Jane were born in 1962, so their full retirement age is going to be age 67. And so the full retirement age benefit, or the primary insurance amount, PIA, is going to be $3,000 for John, and it's going to be $1,000 for Jane. Okay, now let's say Jane has already made up her mind that she is going to take Social Security at age 62, so there's going to be a 30% discount. So Jane is going to collect $700 at age 62 every single month. Now John is trying to make up his mind. He's trying to decide, okay, I'm not going to take at 62, I still want to work, but do I want to take a full retirement age of 67, or do I want to delay until 70? Okay, so let's say the first option. Let's say he starts Social Security at full retirement age. So John, because his full retirement age benefit is $3,000, that's what he'll get. Okay. Now Jane is going to get $700 a month from age 62 until age 67 when John turns his on, and then she's going to get what we call a spousal top-up or a spousal boost. Okay, so that's going to jump up to $1,200 here, and then they are going to collect $3,000 and $1,200 every single month until one of them passes. Now, this is the big key. When John passes, let's say it's at age 85, okay? Now what happens is this $3,000 swaps out for Jane's benefit, and she just continues on collecting the $3,000 a month for the rest of her life. Wardrobe change. What that other guy forgot to say here was that if John, instead of taking at 67, decides to take at 70, he will receive $3,720 instead of the $3,000. And then when he passes, Jane will just take over the $3,720. So Jane takes over wherever John was at. Even though she started at 62, she's not punished for having started early when she takes over the survivor benefit. All right, back to the scraggly beard guy. So oftentimes, especially in the situation where there's a higher earning spouse, we want to delay the higher earner so that the lower earner is protected when that higher earner passes. Critical reason number 2 why you might delay taking your Social Security is because oftentimes it's more tax efficient. Now, this chart I'm about to show you will blow your mind. Okay, we're going to say that a couple needs $70,000 per year to live on in retirement. Okay, we're going to look at 3 scenarios. One scenario, there's going to be no Social Security. The second scenario, there's going to be some Social Security. Then the third scenario, we're going to say they delayed for longer, and they're going to have a majority of their $70,000 come from Social Security. Okay, so let's check it out. Okay, so scenario 1. This family is going to be taking $70,000 in retirement from their IRAs or 401ks. Okay, so you can see the $70,000 in the IRA distribution. Adjusted gross income, $70,000 minus the standard deduction for 2024. Their taxable income is $40,800, and then they're going to be paying $4,400 in federal income taxes. In scenario number 2, this family was able to turn on Social Security and have that count for a portion of their needed income every year. So they're going to turn on Social Security and collect $30,000 from Social Security. So they're still going to be pulling $40,000 from their IRA. Now, $30,000 at this level, only $15,000 of it, so about half, is taxable. Now, we're not going to get into why in the actual formula calculation in today's video. We'll do that fun stuff another time. But here, you can see after standard deduction, the taxable income is $26,000. So the taxable income drops. And now they're only paying $2,600 in federal income taxes. All right, now scenario 3 is where your mind is blown. So scenario 3, this family delayed for as long as possible, and they're collecting $50,000 of the needed $70,000 from Social Security. Okay. Now in this situation, only $6,000 of the $50,000 is actually taxable. Okay, which brings their adjusted gross income down to $26,000. And they don't have any taxable income after the standard deduction, they're not paying anything in the way of federal income taxes. Aren't taxes cool? All right. So the idea here is, hey, if you can delay and make what you need to take home as income in retirement, right? So if you need 50,000, 60, if you need 100,000, if you can make more of that come from Social Security, you're in a more tax favorable spot. Okay, so the third critical reason why you might consider delaying Social Security is to mitigate longevity risk, okay? So it is a fact we are living longer than we were when Social Security started, right? And the number one fear in retirement is running out of money. One of the ways to mitigate that is to maximize how much we are pulling from Social Security over our lifetime, especially if we have a long lifetime, and especially if you have longevity in your family. This is an important thing to consider. So let's go back to John and Jane, okay? Now let's compare John taking at 70. So Jane's going to start at 62 in both of these scenarios, okay? But what we're going to do is we're going to look at John at 70 and Jane at 62 versus John at 62, Jane at 62, okay? So comparing John 70, Jane 62 versus early, both of them taking as early as possible. And what we can see is, assuming this, our software assumes that John has a life expectancy of 85 and Jane has a life expectancy of 90, okay? Now in that scenario, that's a difference of, about 160,000 or so, somewhere around there, and cumulatively over the course of a normal life expectancy. If they have a longer life, if they go out longer than that by 10 years, that difference really starts to grow, okay? So cumulatively, and obviously we're just looking in today's dollars here, but cumulatively, it makes sense over the long run to delay Social Security. Now, the break even between these two decisions is at age 80, so 80 and 11 months for John, okay? Actually, I put them both at the same age, so it's 80 and 11 months for both of them. Now, if they died early, obviously it would have been better to take Social Security early, right? But if they do have longevity, then it does make sense to wait, to delay, and then you're able to have higher Social Security payments into your 90s. Okay, so those are the three critical reasons why you might consider delaying taking your Social Security. Now, I'm not saying for everybody this makes sense. There are certainly legitimate reasons to take early, and there's never a one-size-fits-all situation. So if you want to check out some valid reasons and reasons why you might consider taking early, check out this video that I'm going to suggest to you up here. All right. Other than that, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you on the next one.